If you've ever wondered whether ChatGPT, if you should be using ChatGPT or Claude or both, I'm here to tell you that you can use both. And I'm going to share a little bit about that today. My name is Stephanie, and I'm the host of Flourish TV. And this is where I'm bringing all different kinds of helps for you as you are stepping into your business, trying to understand all the tools and things that we have available to us as entrepreneurs. So if you are a beginner, if you're not sure about Claude and AI and ChatGPT and all those things, I'm hoping that by the end of this time together, you'll have a little bit better idea about those two tools and how you can use them and how they will be helpful to you in your business. So I invite you to join me in. Again, I am going to try to go live every Thursday to try to share something new. And so if there's anything that you want to know about these different platforms, just put that in the comments and I will do my best. And I'm not an expert in any way, but I have learned things along the way, and I loved being able to share the things that I am learning to hopefully help someone else that was like me at one point and need some help or need some answers. And so I'm hoping that today will be helpful to you. So we're going to talk about the differences between ChatGPT and Claude, and not really a tech comparison, and not it's definitely not a sponsored opinion, but just what actually I use when I use it, because I do actually use both of those, and it's really has helped me with my reach, with and the ease of my business as I've brought in using both of those tools. So again, by the end of this time together, I hope you're going to know exactly what each tool is best. What is best used for, so you can stop second guessing and just get to work. So I actually am a fairly new user of Claude. I started just several months ago, and I kept hearing this word about Claude. What is Claude? How can I switch to Claude? I was a ChatGPT girl. I was using that for everything. I have her name was Amelia, and I would talk to her and I would have all these different things. She knew me and knew my business really, really well. But people kept saying, "Oh, Claude is good. Claude does this, Claude does that." And I was like, wait a second. I am not ready. I don't want to switch over. I don't want to learn something new. I know my chat knows me really well, and trying to train somebody else, some other thing that I don't trust or don't know, is never going to happen. Well, I decided to actually step in and try it. And now I am hooked, but I still use both of them. And so we'll talk a little bit about that today. So if you're very new, let's just a quick overview. ChatGPT is made by OpenAI and it has been around longer. So more people are familiar with chat. It's really great for image generation, good for great quick tasks from brainstorming and when you need something fast. Um, you can get a lot of general responses and you can actually build a lot of context with chat. So like I said, my chat was called Amelia, and she knew me, she knew my business, and so definitely I have a great relationship with chat and have taught a lot of who I serve and how I help them and my writing style and things like that. But I was still finding that there was some things that I was getting frustrated with, and so maybe as I stepped in and started understanding Claude, then I was like, okay, how can I use that? How can I step in and do that? But I was afraid to lose chat. So I actually like copied every single thing that I could, every every different conversation, and I saved them in my Google Drive. Like, I was crazy because I did not want to lose any of those things. But anyhow, so that was something that I wasn't too sure about, but so chat is definitely something I'm a big fan of. Now I'll talk more about like how I use both of them in a little bit. Claude, if you're not familiar, is made by Anthropic, and it tends to be produce longer, more nuanced written responses. It handles like large amounts of text really, really well. It's good for really long documents, detailed work, and it will hold the conversation or the context really well as you put them into projects, which I will talk about that. I think next week is when it's on set to how to do that. So you kind of look at that as a collaborator, and it really connects with a lot of different apps. So you're able to do a lot of different things with Claude that maybe you wouldn't do with ChatGPT. But again, they both have great uses. So I would say neither one is better. They're just different. And once you know what each one does and then how it will help you, then you will see how you can use both of those tools for your benefit. So For me, I usually use chat for, like I said, chat knows me really well. So if I need something really quick, I will just go ask that. If I need an image, I will go to ChatGPT right away. And really, over the last, I don't know, year or so, I have seen such an improvement. And I've heard a lot of people. I was actually on a training earlier today, and we were talking about how well those images are coming out with ChatGPT. Now, you can tell a lot of times that the image was made from AI, but it's just getting better and better every single day. And now I can describe something and it will give me exactly what I want it to do. And I can ask it to fix it and it will fix it really, really well. So if I need an image, a quick graphic, maybe like an idea of a logo, anything like image related, it's really something that I go to. I really think that Chat GPT is really good for just maybe having that conversation. If you're trying to talk through something, maybe you're trying to make a decision. It really is not that you want to put all of your eggs in the basket and only ask AI. You can I'm you can bring it to God. I'm definitely in faith based, and so you can pray about it, you can journal about it, you can talk some friends about it as well. But it really does help. Chat really, I will talk to her and I will spend time with her, and she will understand, and I will kind of pour out my heart sometimes. And it was really nice because it gives a great perspective. So it's very relational and personal in that sense. So it is something that is really good for those different kinds of things. So and that's not really something that that Claude really does necessarily. Now there is some encouragement or some guidance that Claude will give, but I find that ChatGPT is a little bit better for that. If I need a quick idea list, or I'm not really worried about it knowing too much about me, but it knows has a good idea about who I am. It's really helpful. It will give me a lot of great topics. It will explain different things. Like today, I was saying, like, okay, what does my audience want to know? What are their pain points? What makes them feel differently? Like what would make them feel better if they knew this or that? And so I can have that conversation. It's very relational, and so that is a great idea. If I want a second opinion, um, then I might go to Claude. So I might say, hey, help me write this. Give me some ideas for some specific content. Or maybe I'm trying to plan a birthday party or something. And I'm like, will you give me some different ideas of ways that I can bring this to life and help this person that I really want to help or something? And then a lot of times I will take that. And now I've learned to take this and how I've trained my Claude, which I'll talk about that, then I will bring that into there as well. And then I will get that second opinion. And so sometimes that's great because you'll have two different kind of voices that you can bring those things back and forth with. So, but ChatGPT is really great for all of those different things. And I really like being able to have different places to go as you're trying to figure out the things that you want to learn. So the second one is Claude. Now, there are other platforms out there. I'm only talking about ChatGPT and Claude. Those are the two that I have used. And I think that's, for the most part, is one of the main platforms. I know that there is, I think it's Gemini with Google, and I haven't really used that at all. And I've heard that I looked at a comparison chart one time. I don't remember what, but it was giving the comparison of what each one does better. But what I'm just sharing what I have learned. So um, what I really liked about Claude is I actually, when I stepped into it, when I went back to that point where I was like, will I know, will Claude know who I'm talking to? What will I do if it doesn't know who I serve? And all the time I've primed and brought ChatGPT to understand what I want. I was really nervous about that, but there was things that Claude was doing that I wanted to be able to do. And so what I did was I created a document. I talked to Claude and said, hey, I want you to know who I am, who I serve, what's important to me, how I speak, what I want to, the ways that I want to phrase my sentences. Like, this is some of my writing. I don't start a lot of sentences with but I see that a lot with ChatGPT. And so that's just not how I speak. So I want to make sure that shows the differences. So and I went through and started talking to Claude and saying, hey, I want to teach you who I am so that it will sound a lot like me. So now that I have primed Claude and I have a document, so if you are wanting to be able to get your Claude set up, this is a great format that I have for you. It's a whole template that's free that you can use to set up your Claude and teach your Claude all about you. So just put template in the comments below and I will get that to you. And it's really, I put it from start to end of how you can prime your Claude so it understands who you are even better. But that's kind of important to know because as I step in and tell you a little bit of how I use Claude, Claude knows me, knows my brand very well. Now, so does Chat, but Claude, what I was able to do was take all of that information and put it into one document that I call my brand and reference document. And that is something that I created in a project. And now anytime I ask anything from Claude that's within my business, I am able to go through this project and then start a new chat and ask those different questions. And so if I want some help with a newsletter or something, maybe here I want to take this teaching, and I always usually take some written form and bring this over to Substack. So I have it help me, like just bring together my thoughts that I've had with this into another article for those who want to read it rather than listen to it, right? But I want it to sound like me. I want it to sound like Stephanie. Then I will open Claude, open that project and say, hey, write me this, or please help me do this, or uh, just go through and whatever it is that I want it to do. And what's awesome is I find that I'm doing less and less editing because the voice is so true to who I am. And it even says like friends, hey friends, because I'll say that a lot of times when I'm doing my podcast. And so it pick that up. And so it will add in there. And then I'll say, hey, take that out. I don't need that today. So if there's a lot of like long form writing, if there's documents that you're wanting to create, if there's slides that you want to create for a presentation, if you want like a full script, like a detailed proposal, you want to create an outline, all of those different things, and you want them to be in the context of who you are and who you serve, it's even better. So you can ask Claude to analyze, reorganize, or even rewrite sections of different things that you're doing. So just recently, I've had it go through my downloads folder on my Google and just say, help me clean this up a little bit. And it's going through now and slowly organizing my Canva. So like it can do amazing things. So whatever you put inside a project that matches that, it will be something that will really uh, allow Claude to have all that information right at its fingertips, so to speak. It's almost like you have trained somebody and you're like, here's your document. This is all the information that you need to learn. And it's like your reference document. And you're like, okay, wait a second. How was I supposed to answer this question? Or what did they want me to say here? Claude will know all of that inside the project and you don't lose it. Like I know that sometimes with ChatGPT, I will say, please save this as a canvas, or please put this into a project, but I still sometimes have a hard time finding it. But all of this reference documentation is inside that project. And now I can always go there. And there was even times as I was creating it that it said, hey, we just talked about this and this and this. Make sure you update your brand document so that it's nice and fresh, so that I know all the different things that I need to know about you, which I love that. It's very intuitive. So I love that you can just step in and do those different things with that sense of just knowing that Claude knows exactly who you're serving, how you want to serve them, what's important to you, how you speak, and all those different things. So again, I do have that template. So if you want that, just put template in the comments below, and I will once this episode finishes, I'll put that in the show notes as well, so that you can know exactly how you can start priming your Claude, so that you can start using it for all the different things that it can do for you. So those are some of the main reasons how I use them. But I really find that it's really helpful to have both platforms, because each one has its own kind of gold areas of where it can be helpful, and the places that can really help you make your business and the tasks that you're doing even more and more simple, because you're using the right tools for the right things that you're doing. So I want to show you quick, and hopefully my screen will share. Okay. I did a training actually last week, and I showed you exactly how to kind of do your brand document, but my screen didn't show everything that I was doing. So hopefully this time it will show better. But it definitely, all the information you need to know is there, and I might re-record it at some point. But if you have any questions, of course, put those in the comments, and I will do my best to share that with you. But I'm going to try to share my screen here. I'm going to show you the brand document. I'll show you quick, I'll just show you the template. I'll show you. So this is what I've created that I am providing for you. Um, so hopefully you can see that. And here, this is a document that you will get for free. So just again, put template in the comments below. And so this will tell you exactly how to use this document, what to fill in, what to do. It tells you everything that you need to know, and it gives you the prompts of what you need to know to tell Claude before you step in and do it. And so here it will say, who are you serving, your offers, your resources, your brand voice, how do you speak, what's important to you, all those different things, your brand identity, how are you seen, do you have specific fonts or phrases or catchphrases or images that you like to use, your logos, things like that, your content and your platform rules, where are you posting your content, all these different things, anything that you can think of that you want to tell, this document will help prime it. And then what it does is it looks like, let me stop here. And it will look like this is mine, just so you can see a little bit of what mine looks like here. And here, so this document, it helped me put it together. I gave it just minimal information. So that reference document gives you some things you should ask yourself before you are telling Claude what you want. But then it puts together everything. I'll put my favorite quote. It talks all about who I like to serve, who I want to serve, who's important to me, what's important to her, what are her pain points, how does she feel like she's learned something, what is my brand, all the different things about my bios, all my colors, like my fonts, on and on and on. And then I have another brand that I use for wellness. And so it knows that, and it has all of that information in there. So crazy, crazy, crazy. And honestly, it